So we're 266 days in, which comes to Israel peace deal 116, add pull the plug 150, it comes to 266. Trump train 160, everyone's on the Trump train. It was inevitable. It's been prophesied into the matrix, into the code of our DNA, that the Trump would be the savior that saves the world, and saving Israel for last. So he's done another, or he's doing the historic peace deal right now. But we know with all of these things, there's always something coming around the corner. The storm, Israel, it will all be exposed. Hey folks, how you all doing? And I was talking about it yesterday, but the title of today's show is that I do know where the Black Swan event is and where it will be, and when and where, okay? And I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but I'm giving you as many clues as possible without spoiling it, okay? And I don't want to push it further down the road, because I've understood and understand that quantum physics 206 is at play with all of this. And as we observe and as we manifest, things can be completed and move on to another part of the quantum field. So I'm wanting this to happen as much as everyone else. So you'll see once it happens, I'll be able to pinpoint, and you'll be able to see all my trail of videos and tweets and codes and everything that I've been talking about. But if you followed me for a while, and even recently, you'll get a big clue on where and when it is. And I'm very curious about how they will do it, but I've got a very I know where and when, and some other factors I think that will come into play, and it'll be interesting to see what's oh, bless you, thanks Starfire, thank you. And I'm intrigued to see what other pieces will be brought in at the last minute to make it all go. And just as, okay, so how about this? So just as 9/11 was predicted in films and other things, and then once the event happened, people could look back and see what was placed in our reality that told us what was coming. Same thing with Corona. COVID was predicted. It was predicted in Indiana Jones. Okay, I'll give you a hint, Patty. Get ready. I'm going to give you a hint. And it was predicted in a number of things. It was even predicted in real time in the film Tenet, which talks about the reversal of 9/11. I was watching that in cinemas early 2020, in the summer of 2020, and it was, people were munching away with their masks on. I wasn't wearing one, because I always just said exempt if they asked me, but they kind of gave up asking me in the end. And they talked about lockdowns. They talked about, well, they showed masks. They talked about child's play with some weird symbols in plain sight. And they also had an aeroplane crashing into a hangar, and all the gold bars fell out. So there was an RV. And then there's other things like the reversal of 9/11 that haven't happened quite yet, but they will. And then Charlie Kirk most recently. So Charlie Kirk was predicted. You got the life of Chuck. I predicted the sinkhole, but that's the first of many. That's in the film Life of Chuck. Charlie Kirk was predicted in the film Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is 104, which is Jerusalem, which is Starlink, which is also trafficking. There's a nest underground. That's what it is. There's a nest underground that's been controlling all of this, and that's going to get exposed. And the shooter in the Snake Eyes movie, the guy that gets killed is Charles Kirk Land. Land is 31 in numbers. What age was Charlie Kirk? 31. So Charles Kirk plus 31 is Charles Kirk Land, and they shot him in the neck. at a sporting event. And Snake Eyes, yeah, the beast, Snake Eyes. And so with the Black Swan, that's going to happen. That's in many films, and I've talked about a lot of them. And like I said, I believe there will be a quantum physics component, because it will change our reality when this takes place. It will wake people up. It will expose things like the dumps, the tunnels. There'll be sinkholes. In my opinion, I believe there'll be sinkholes all over the world. In fact, I say it's my opinion. It's me just reading what they're putting out. So the white hats are putting out the codes and letting us see. And that's why Melania wore her comms the other day. She wore the same outfit that she wore next to President Trump when he announced the storm 8 years ago. And so that's go time. It's telling us go time. And now President Trump's doing the peace deal. He did all of the peace. He did the Abraham Accords previously, and then they were ripped up by Biden, by the fake administration of Biden. And so we're bang on. We're really close, super close. And the best is yet to come. And they're telling that to us all over the place. So simultaneously, as one thing gets destroyed, as the plug is pulled, as the Black Swan event comes in, as see, there's going to be a CERN-like thing. I think, believe with this. What is 717? Oh, 717 is really important. 717 is very important. It's a personal number for me. But 717 is 71. Add 17, Q. Add those together is 88, Trump. 71 is Lady Diana. 71 is Psych, as in my channel. Woodbridge has a big crack, is it? Tell us more about that one. I didn't know about that. So as with Corona, when Corona came in, they gave us a full warning, didn't they? They started on the 31st of December into January, into 2020, and then they gave us a lead up of about 10 weeks. And so with this, with the Black Swan will be a boom. It will happen. And then people will be like, whoa, what's going on? I even think there's an element, so in Christopher Nolan's film, which is Interstellar, which is 153, which is Galactic Federation, which is Black, which is 153. There's an element of dust in that, and I always wondered what that was. But they put something out recently in the news here in England, and they were saying for people to get ready for something, and they were saying about dust and taping up your doors and things. So maybe there will be a lot of dust in the air because of things like the sinkholes being exposed. It feels to me like there's going to be there'll be a trigger. I know where the trigger is. There might be other triggers as well, but I definitely know one of them that has been clearly predicted and told it by us. And I've told you over the last weeks, in the things I've been exposing, where that is. And it's a combination of all the films I've talked about, and the comms and the codes that I've put out. Like Q-Post, they put it there, and then once the events happen, you can look back and see it. So there's a whole litany of things in my timeline, on my Twitter and in my videos that I've talked about over the last months, weeks, recent days, and also over the last few years. And so you'll see it's there. But there'll be other things as well that are connected to that I haven't even seen yet. But in terms of where it's going to happen and when, I do know that, and I'll be able to point that to you. And but I don't want to spoil the surprise, because I've learnt the thing in Tenet. So the film Tenet is 64 Israel. Tenet is Zion, 64. It's a palindrome number, a word. It's Tenet. It's the same forward and backwards. It talks about red team, blue team. Sunny Hayes, 145. 145 is Wonder Woman. 145 is numerology. 145. I think the Black Swan. I feel like the Black Swan will be the thing that triggers this shift. It will take us into the shift, into the storm, and then into the draining of the swamp and pulling the plug. We'll pull the plug and then drain the swamp. But I think it will all go almost simultaneously. That's what it feels like to me. And and a blink of an eye moment, that could be then. That could be then. If they use quantum physics, which I feel like they're going to do at some point, and it's pinpointing, it's either then or it's around that time or connected to those events, the quantum physics element will come in. And they talk about a miracle. Joseph Cooper, 145 in Interstellar. So he's pushed to the brink and then he goes into the Tesseract. The Tesseract is 143, which is Building 7, which is Ground Zero, which is Melania Trump, which is Paul Bushnell, my conduit of the ethereal here and there. So it's coming, and it's literally about to happen. They also do a thing in Tenet where they send certain teams to do a certain job and then they fail, but because they failed, it precipitated and made something else happen, and they stopped a bigger thing going off. So there might be an element of that. There was an element of that, I believe, with November 5th. But the main thing is we got President Trump through the door. We got President Trump back in office, and then all these other things were able to happen. But I do believe, because it's been loud and clear. It's loud and clear. Melania's 55, not in age, but 55 numbers. That's a loud, clear signal. 55. Exactly, manifesting is happening for us, Diane. That's what's happening. And so the world is going to catch up. The Charlie Kirk thing was a big one. It woke a lot of people up and got them questioning. I've got relatives that weren't really interested in this, but now are interested in the Charlie Kirk story. So it's great. There's all these levels. There's all these checkpoints. There's all these shunt gates of different levels where people are. And we thought, because we woke up, well, we were awake before, but we got activated, you know, beyond when Corona came in. We thought everyone would just naturally be on the same page, but we realized they weren't. And there's also more threads now at play. And President Trump, when he went on the Joe Rogan show, which wasn't going to happen, but then it did, Joe Rogan 2.0 flipped. And President Trump said he's the weaver. He likes to do weaves. And all of a sudden it's a miracle. He says the word miracle. They talk about miracle in the film F1. Everything is just kind of at a critical point, and then a miracle happens. And so the good component is coming. That's the thing. There's miracles in other things. I mean, even the miracle on, what is it, what's that classic? Miracle on 32nd Street or 34th Street? 34th Street, I think. 34th is DJT, 34 is Leap, 34 is Neo, 34 is Tam. I saw a thing in the papers the other day, Tam being my Scottish name, with Tam in The Heretic, Chad and Tam, referring back to when I was a young missionary, and I've got Q on the side of me in that photo that you've seen on my Twitter. Tam is 34 Leap, Neo 34. I've met Neo, I've met Keanu Reeves, I've met Trinity. Trinity's 115, Morpheus is 115, 11/5 is November 5th. I've met them. They're all part of this timeline. Dear Michael Gambon, super important. Dumbledore, my wizard, good wizard. Michael's a key component in this. My friend Checkmate, she's a key component of this. Ivanka Trump is a massive key component of all of this. And all of these things will make sense once the Black Swan happens. Once it happens, it will make sense. And yeah, tomorrow they're saying that this whole timeline thing of the 14th is when all the timelines come together. And that might be the case. I don't know. I haven't looked into that too much, but that would be fantastic if it is. One thing about 14th is 132, which is Life of Chuck, or The Life of Chuck. 132 is Princess Diana. Princess Diana is clearly mentioned in reference in the Tenet film. They even have the actress that played her in the Tenet film. And they show the Harrods bag, and the Harrods bag was shown, well, the Harrods hanger was shown in real time. There's a hanger, there's a check coat, a coat check in the opening scene of Tenet, which is 246. 246 is many things. In the blink of an eye, 246. It's got reference to my cousin Paul. 208 was his full name. He died at age 38. 38 is death. Junior died at 38. Yeah, 208 plus 38 comes to 246. But 246 is also a key date, a time on the reference board of the Black Swan. Did you see that flash from the bird? From the bus. There was something or that beacon in front. Something flashed as I said that. Just you might see it on the video. So we're super close, folks. And I'm looking forward to it. And I don't want to pop the air out of the balloon. I don't want them to, the thing is they've got so many options. I don't want them to move another one. I don't want anything to delay it. But it's my job to give you faith, confidence, and hope and excitement about what's coming. And there's a reason they put those things out for us to see and to decode, but I don't want it to be a point where we go down one thing and we complete it and then they do it over there. There still may be an element of that, but I'm hoping not, because I'm kind of keeping my mouth closed as much as I can. But I also need to tell you and give you excitement and faith for what's coming, because it's coming super quick. It's coming super soon, and the bases are loaded. You know, Melania's put out the stuff on it. QPOS have put it out there. Dark to Light is 125. Time Travel 125. It's also something else. Blackout Necessary is 194, which is September 11th. September 11th does get reversed. I put out a tweet. Someone was talking about, I think they said 254 hostages or 254 journalists or something to do with this whole thing with Israel. 254, so that's another code, 254, the 254th day of the year on a non-leap year, which happened September 11th, 2001, is the 254th day of the year, September 11th. Tower 1 plus Tower 2 in numbers comes to 254. Tower 1 is 115, 11.5, which is Art of the Deal, which is the Dream Weaver, I believe, which is November 5th. And then Tower 2 is 139, Christopher, as in Nolan. 139 is Transition. 139 is Money Exchange. So everything's all going on. Everything's going on. They're telling you through the numbers. They're telling you through the synchronicities. They're telling you in real time. So if we get a flash, or if you hear someone say something, or it comes into your mind, then you get a reference in your real time. That's how the numbers work. Oh, bless you, Keena. Thank you. I appreciate it. Where are you from? Hey, Karen. So the thing is that we're so close. We're so close. So close. Hey, Denise. I believe so. Once they've done it. See, that's the thing. That's why President Trump came out with the whole thing on med beds just, 10 days ago or so, whenever it was. He wouldn't do that unless we're super close. He's now talking apparently about trying to find those injured or deceased in the whole Gaza thing with the exchange of hostages. There's hostages in the Dark Knight. They swap them over. There's the clones that swap in for the doctors, and they swap them. So there's so many balls in play. I haven't got enough words to express it. I'm thinking of 4 or 5 things at once. But the point is, we're so close. It's about to happen. Get ready. Enjoy the show. And I personally feel it won't be as long as Corona. The clear-up job might be, but the short, sharp, quick strike to the bows for the Earth, the ascension for us, or continuing of ascension for us, that's the other thing. I think there's going to probably be other gifts that will get shaken out that will arise with our DNA. So I got activated in numbers when Corona happened. I'm looking forward to the other activations that are going to come, I think, through the Black Swan. And there'll be loads of other people waking up. That's the other thing. There'll be more of us. There'll be more gifts. There'll be more. The higher the quotient, the frequency of our DNA, the quotient, the collective quotient of the DNA of humanity will increase. Therefore, there will be more gifts, more abilities that will be activated, and so the world will jump up again. There might be jumps from then on, but that will definitely be a kick upwards, and it will happen. 88 miles per hour. That's the thing. 88 miles per hour. That's what it is. That's what will happen. So we're so quick, folks. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're so quick. We're so close, and it's going to happen quick. And it's going to be the thing that we want. And there will be surprises along the way, things we hadn't seen, but it will all make sense looking back. Nice one, Aura. Liverpool, there you go. Liverpool. So anyway, folks, lots of love. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. We're getting to 80. That's the other thing. It's almost like they're using my thing as a counter. We're getting close to 88 miles per hour. So let's get to that. Let's get to 88 miles. Let's get to 88,888 subscribers. 88888. Let's get to that. And if we keep growing at the rate we're going since yesterday, we'll get there on time. Oh, bless you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for your super chats yesterday. I appreciate that. You've still got time, just about, if you want to get things like your scalar, your CBD, your nicotine, your butter me up. They're all available, but get them soon because there's not too much long time for postage. So just get them now. just get them today. Anyway, you can tell I'm excited because I can feel it like you can. And we're ready to go. We're ready to go. So God bless you all, everyone. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Hit the hype button. That helps push it out into the YouTube atmosphere, the algorithm. It gets it going again. 606, someone's important phone number ends in 606. So that's awesome. Thanks, folks. Much love. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's see what happens between now and then. You take care. Bye.